As requested, this video will be jeans hemming with an industrial walking foot sewing machine. This is Tabitha. She's a Consew 226 R-1 industrial walking foot machine. We're going to hem some denim. Here we'll begin by aligning the bottom hem together with the side seams on either side meeting as our center point. For our example, we're raising the hem 2 inches. Here I'm removing an inch from the bottom hem. On the inside of the pant leg at the outer hip seam, I'll mark the 1/2 inch fold line and the 1 inch hem line. Then with some heavy snips or shears, clip the seam allowance at the fold line, being careful not to snip the construction seam. Doing this will allow you to flip one seam allowance the other direction within the fold, reducing the bulk on the hem, giving you a cleaner look. Pin as needed. Next, you want to mark similarly with the inner leg seam. This is a flat felled seam that is designed for a lot of wear but has a lot of bulk to hem. From the inside of the seam, use a seam ripper or a blade to pick out the innermost stitch line from the bottom of the cut edge to just above your 1/2 inch fold line. This will allow you to trim the bulk and maintain the integrity of the outermost stitch line like I'm doing here. Pin as needed, although I really try not to pin if I can avoid it. So now let's take our hemming to Tabitha. I always like to start close to a side seam. Most industrial machines perform better if you hold both the top and bottom tails of thread for the first few stitches. I get the work lined up where I want to begin and lock the needle in the down position to get started. After the first few stitches, then I guide the fabric, finger pinning and adjusting the fold as I go. I'm lining up the top of my fold to the outside of my presser foot. It really doesn't matter what gauge you use to line up as long as you remain consistent. That will produce quality work. Now we've gotten to the fold of the flat felled seam. I have a tool called a Genamajig that I'm going to use to level the presser foot as the bulky seam passes underneath both in front and behind the presser foot. The reason for this is if the foot is not level with the bed of the machine, the tension may not engage and create loose and sometimes tangled stitches. It helps to use this type of tool on the back and the front of the foot to create this leveling action. Just be very careful that your needle doesn't hit it. As long as you go slow, you should be able to avoid breaking a needle. To finish, I usually stitch past where I began and add a few back stitches to lock the threads and snip. A quick press will smooth out the hem nicely. It looks great. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I appreciate you.